Have you ever talked yourself out of something before you even tried it? Maybe you had an idea, maybe a dream, maybe it's a goal you really wanted to pursue, but that little voice in your head said, you're just not ready. Or worse, you're not good enough. The truth is, most people aren't held back by lack of ability. They're held back by the lack of belief in themselves. And if you don't believe in yourself, it's very hard for the world to believe in you either. It's true. So today, I want to share 5 powerful confidence tips that can help you start trusting yourself more, speaking up more, and finally moving forward with the things you know you are meant to do. So let's dive in here today and let's finish out these 3 sides of excellence that we've spent this week talking about. If you didn't catch, the first section was earlier this week, and then number 2 was on Thursday of this week. So I really want to encourage you. These are labeled part 1, part 2, part 3. I would make sure that you go back and check out the other sections of the 3 sides of excellence. So what we've talked about is that first side of excellence is mastering your craft. It is important that you know what you're talking about and that you do have the talent and that you are capable and have the ability to do what it is that you really want to do. The second in that is your work ethic. It's how you show up and it's your character. And the third in that is networking, getting to know other people, being seen, collaborating, playing in the sandbox so that other people know and understand your value and really can see who you are. Because a lot of times it's the person that they think that you are that makes them say, wow, I think they're pretty smart, but I really like them. And when people get that feeling about you, then they're going to want to do that. But in this triangle, if you can imagine in the center of that throughout all these 3 things is you have to have belief in yourself. And this is done through confidence. It's done through self-esteem. So we're going to talk about those 2 things first. What's the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem? Because a lot of people don't understand the difference of those. And once you do, it's going to be super helpful for you in believing in yourself. The other thing that I do want you to know is most people don't truly, fully believe in themselves until they know that someone else believes in them. So having that self-confidence, having that self-esteem, helping us to believe in ourselves and to step out on that is super important. It's everything actually. But when you know that someone else believes in you, when you have those moments of self-doubt, it's those people that we lean into. And that's one of the things that we're going to cover in our 5 tips. So let's begin with number 1, which is one of the most important. You know what? Before I get into the 5 tips, I said I was going to talk about the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. So let's do that because it's super important. Self-confidence primarily comes from knowledge and expertise. So doing. So again, we talked about in work ethic and mastering your craft. We talked about practice. We talked about learning all that you can. Those 2 things grow self-confidence. So the more that you learn, the more confident that you will become in actually execution. And the more that you practice at something, the better you will get, the larger your confidence grows. When you try something and you even see a little bit level of success, you're going to say, oh, wow, that was great. I know for me right now, I can just use this as an example. I've never run a 5K in my life. Now, for some of you, you could be marathon runners for all I know. But for me, I've never did any competitive race for real, where you sign up and you actually go and you get a little number on your chest and off you go. And I'm going to do that this spring, and I'm pretty excited about it. In fact, it's one of the things I'm going to train on our one of our fitness days is how to really train for a 5K. So I have been working at this, and the more that I do it, and the more that I keep trying and I keep practicing, guess what? The more I'm able to run. And so I have just been trying to get in 1 mile, what can I do? In 2 miles, what can I do? And where can I get in 3 miles? And then I've actually been saying, okay, how far can I get in 35 minutes? Because I looked up what's a good competitive time for someone in my age bracket. So I'm like, okay, so how far can I get in 35 minutes? And just yesterday, I did a 12-minute mile. And so I was like really excited because I thought, oh my gosh, if I can do the whole thing and on my first one ever in under 39 minutes, or even if I could get to 35 minutes, I'm going to be pretty happy with myself. But I was so happy with myself yesterday. I just ran 2 miles in literally 24 minutes exactly on the nose. And I ended up having to stop because I had other things I needed to get to. So I didn't end up getting to run out the whole 3 miles, but I knew that I could. And it's building my confidence to go in now for this next run that I'm going to do. So the more we do, the better we get, the more our confidence level grows. It's that simple. So that's self-confidence. What's self-esteem? People confuse them. Self-esteem comes from the relationships that you have. So some people have a low self-esteem because of the relationships that they grew up with and how they let that affect their behavior, their mindset, the way that they see themselves. It could be through a relationship of a sibling. It could be through a relationship of a parent. It could be through a relationship of other adults in your lives. Friends that you had that maybe weren't great friends as far as being really helpful to you in growing your self-esteem. Maybe they were always telling you that you weren't good enough. So think about the relationships that you've had in the past. Now, to get over some of those can be difficult. But what's interesting about self-esteem is those patterns of who we grew up with and how our self-esteem was sort of formed and that foundation. A lot of times we keep seeking out those same types of people. You've probably seen it in relationships. We keep going back to the same kind of unhealthy relationship. So if you want to increase your self-esteem, it has to be through the healthy relationships that you have. So you have to sometimes work harder at this than anything else, is developing really good, healthy relationships. And if you have a toxic relationship, try to avoid that as much as possible. Don't let that person keep killing your self-esteem. You might have to, they might be a close person in your life and you might have to spend some time, but guess what? You can limit the amount of time that you spend with negative people because it's a self-esteem destroyer. All right, so let's talk about now the 5 key ways that you can increase the belief in yourself. The first one is challenge your self-talk. One of the quotes that I even have it on pens, but is the story you tell yourself is the one you will believe. And this is so true. So what self-talk are you saying to yourself? And quit having negative self-talk conversations. Catch yourself in your negative conversations. As you say it, immediately change that conversation. Say out loud if you have to. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Say to yourself, no, I'm not. No, I just need to learn a little bit more about that. Wow, I made a mistake. I'm always messing up. No, you're not. You just messed up this time. Like, you have to change the conversation immediately. When you have negative self-talk, you need to erase that out loud with positive self-talk. It is the only way that you're going to continue to grow that confidence. So challenge the negative self-talk that you are telling yourself. Try to change that wording. I've given some examples on this before if you've watched this channel, but instead of saying, "Oh, I really struggle with technology," quit saying that. Say, "I am learning. I am getting better at technology." Instead of saying, "Technology's not my friend," "Oh my gosh, I'm so disorganized." No, I am a work in progress with organization. I'm working on it every day. The more you change that conversation up with yourself, even the way that you think about yourself, that's how others are going to start seeing you as well. So part of the self-talk isn't just that you say it to yourself with that little voice in your head. Many times we say this out loud to other people, and people are going to believe you too. You believe you, but guess what? Other people will believe you too, and they'll think, "Oh yeah, I don't know that they can really do the job. They said that they always struggle with this, or they always end up, quitting on something." Like, we can't have these conversations. So start changing it to, "I can," instead of "I have a hard time. So I'm working on this," to "This is impossible. This is challenging right now, but I persevere." So you just have to change your word choices. If you have to, put positive affirmations up on your wall. I know some people think that this is corny, but the more you see every day, the more you're going to start to believe the things that you are seeing about yourself. Lean into your support system. This is the one where I talked about a lot of people don't truly believe in themselves until they know that others believe in them. And it is so true. This is why I want to say to you right now, you need a support system. We're going to talk about what that support system looks like. But I also want to say to you as another individual, don't be shy about telling other people how good they're doing or complimenting them. I don't know what is wrong with us on how we always want to tell people negative things. Why not spend more time telling people positive things? It's just like one of the key characteristics of raising a really good, healthy child. Instead of telling them no all the time or telling them what they can't do, why don't we tell them what they can do, what they are good at, what their strengths are? So this is really important. Now, your support system. This is something I've trained for a very long time. You've got 3 different types of people in your circle. Most everybody is sort of made up of one of these kinds of people. They just are. It's who they are by nature. And you need all 3 of them in your support team. So at least have one person of each of these 3 categories. If you can have a couple in each category, wow, you're going to be doing even better. The first one, I like to call them the hugger. This is the person who is just so sweet, so kind, loves you no matter what, never sees any of your faults, always has the most kindest, absolute, wonderful things to say. And close your eyes even for a minute right now and think about who is that friend or relationship in your life that is just that way. Lean into them. When you are having that self-doubt, when you are feeling down, when you are feeling like maybe I can't do this, that's the person you want to call. The person who's going to love you no matter what, the person who is going to tell you you're great. You know that they believe in you in that way. I've got a couple people in my life that if I'm feeling really down and I call them, because I know I've learned to recognize who to call for what I need, they're going to say, "Are you kidding, Belinda? Of all the people I know, when you put your mind to something, you do it. You're going to make this work." I'm like, okay. And I believe them. I believe them because I can't right now see that in me, but they know me. So who is that person in your circle that just knows you and knows you so well and is complimentary and super kind? They're hugger. They're that hugger. That's how I like to label them. The second person in your circle is the person who will tell you like it is. They will kick your butt. They are the person that is like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you wasting time with this? This is not healthy." Like, they're going to tell you, they're going to correct you of what you are thinking or feeling. I remember that when I was going through my divorce, this was, I just, I felt like such a failure. Like, how could I be failing at this? Like, and I took it really super personal. Like, that, oh, my marriage is failing. I allowed my family to fall apart. Like, I just really was in a bad place with it. And I was going to counseling, but I was talking to my one best friend, and she knew me and she knew my ex-husband really, really well. She knew both of us really well. She knew about all of the things I had been through. And so I would call her and I'd be crying and I would say, oh my gosh, I just this, that, blah, blah, blah. And at first she just listened. And finally she's like, okay, you know what? I kind of heard enough about this because let's get honest. You don't even like him. Like, you don't. You don't even like him. He is not good for you. He has not been good in this situation. So what in the world are you doing? And it was kind of like a slap in the face, but it woke me up. And it woke me up to just quit wallowing in whatever self-pity that I was having and to realize she's telling me the truth. Everything she was speaking to was truth. But you need a friend who has enough guts to tell you like it is, to kick your butt when you need your butt kicked. So that's your second support system. The third person in that group is your solution-oriented friend. And everybody has one of those. So that when you are feeling really down, like, I'm not sure what to do, I really want this to work, I feel stuck, I don't know if I should keep going, should I just throw in the towel? They're like, okay, well, let's sit down, let's look at it. What have you done? Okay, have you tried this? Have you done this? So we need that friend. And instinctively, you want all three in your corner, but you need to know which one to lean into when you need it. So I've got tons of those people, and I know who I need to call when I'm feeling which way ever I'm feeling about my self-doubt. Now, interesting enough, like, you should be able to look at yourself and go, which one of those people am I? I can tell you which one I am. I am the solution-oriented friend. And guess what the majority of my friends come to? They come to me and they go, hey, do you have a minute? I'd love to just pick your brain for a minute. And I hate that saying because it sounds so weird, but you know exactly what they mean. I go, sure. And what they want is they want you to help them with a solution. And I love being this, my brain works that way. I'm immediate, like, okay, you're not stuck right now. Let's figure this out. We can figure this out together. And we brainstorm, and I'm the solution-oriented girl. And if you go back to even letters, I still have letters with my cousins from when I was like 8, 8, 10, 12, like us growing up. We used to write each other because it cost too much money to call on the phone back then, right? With a long-distance phone call. And so we wrote each other letters, but they're always, the letters always started, okay, I need your help. You know, I know that you're going to have an idea for me. Like, that's how every single one of the letters to me were written. Because I was that, even at that age, I was the solution-oriented individual. So I want you to stop and think about that and think about who those people are in your circle. Okay, number 3. Actually, the next one is practice self-awareness. So this is where you know your strengths and your weaknesses. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. And what most people have a tendency to do with themselves is to focus on their weaknesses. People think, I need to get better at my weakness. And I say to you, discover your strengths and lean into your strengths. Yes, can we work on our weaknesses? Sure we can. But should you be focusing on your weakness? No. The more you focus on your weakness, the more self-doubt that you are going to have, the less belief that you are going to have in yourself. If you focus on your strengths and always lean into your strengths and work on your strengths, this is going to grow your confidence level in yourself. So, self-awareness, challenge self-talk, challenge that negative self-talk, and have a good, strong support system. Those are your top 3. Number 4 is be willing to step out of your comfort zone and take risks. This is huge. And that doesn't mean that every single one of them are going to work out. But if you don't ever take the risk, you will never know. And when you do take those risks and they do work out, your belief in yourself will grow exponentially. It will be amazing. It truly will. So just a little story. I just want to share a little story here about myself because I still like sharing personal stories. I think that they're always good. But when I first was going to become a speaker, I had been in sales for like 16 years. And so I was very good at what I did. I had also did a lot of presentations, but to go out and start my own speaking business and start selling myself, that was hard. And so straight away at the very beginning of that, I had an individual that said, okay, I think I shared this story already, but maybe if you're just coming on to use the channel, you haven't heard it. So I'll try to shorten it up a little bit. So I did an interview with someone that said, hey, I heard that you're available. So I'm in the process of starting my own business. They said, I heard that you were available. And I said, well, I'll go to this interview. And they were offering me like not quite double my salary, but what my salary was plus another half of it. And so that seemed like the thing to do. And they looked at me and they said, I said, well, you know what? If I could just, you could be one of my clients. Like I'm going to go out on my own business and I'm going to start doing training and I'll do consulting and I could work as a regional sales manager for you and manage your sales team. But I really want to go out on my own. And they said, well, you have to either work for us full time or nothing. And they said, why would you do that? You don't have anything right now. You don't have any clients. You haven't even started. Right now, you have nothing. And that was like dagger in the heart almost. And I looked at the person and I said, I have the belief in myself that I can do this. And I have other people that believe in me that I can do this. And I owe it to myself and my family to at least try this. And if it doesn't work, I can always go back and get a full-time job. I know that. There'll always be opportunities for me to go and get a full-time job. And I walked out of there and that was the end of that conversation. And I took off on my own. And it was really difficult because my husband at the time, that's my ex-husband now, was like, are you insane? Like we could use that money. And I'm like, I'm not doing something to work for hours. Like I want to do something that's mine and I'm going to do this. And those were the little things, honestly, that led to the end of our relationship because there was no more control. I was starting to come into my own as a person, as an individual, believing in myself. I was coming into my own in my career. And that was, and some people want to keep you exactly where you are. For some people, it's uncomfortable for you to be successful because it makes them look too hard at themselves and their own things that they lack, their own weaknesses, that they don't have the guts to go out on a limb and take a risk. And so when people do that, oftentimes other people don't like it. And it isn't because of you, it's because it makes them uncomfortable about themselves. So understand that and be willing to take risks. Because, yeah, you might have some failure along the way, but you just learn from it and you move on. But I always say to people, if you don't ever take a risk, you will never also experience that incredible rush of success and that you believed in yourself and that confidence boost and everything that comes with it. Everything that comes with it. So you've got to be willing to take risks. Now you can be like risk averse, like, okay, let me look at the risk. I always do a pros and cons list. And then I say, what's the absolute worst thing that can happen? When I started my speaking business, I said, what is the absolute worst thing that can happen? No one ever hires me and I can't make a living at this. So what would I do? I would go get another job. I had just been offered time and a half of my salary of what I just had. So would that be available for me? Absolutely. So I said, okay, so is the risk worth it? Can I live with this risk? If the whole thing fell apart, am I able to live with that? And am I able to recover from it? And if the answer is yes, then you've got to be willing to take those risks. But that is a good way to do a risk analysis. And number 5 is set small, attainable goals. You've heard me talk about how goal setting is so important. It does boost your confidence. And that really goes back to that working on that marathon. I'm just setting little goals every time I run. And I decided that I don't know that I could just do, like a lot of people say, just do the 3.3 miles and then see what your time is and then try to improve your time. But I knew that that wouldn't be good for me. So instead, I set a timer of, I'm going to run for 35 minutes. And at the beginning, I couldn't do quite 35 minutes. But what I did was I did slower so I could go for 35 minutes. Then I moved it up a little bit and could do 35 minutes. Then I moved it up a little bit more in 35 minutes. And now I'm like, okay, what can I do in 35 minutes? And if I didn't have to leave my run the other day, if I was on a 12-minute mile and I would have ran, I probably would have did that 3 miles in 36 minutes. Like I would have probably made it in 35 minutes. I would have made it very close to 3 miles. And that would have been super exciting because now I'm getting super close. And so now I've set a small goal for myself and I'm changing it and moving the benchmark along the way. And I'm growing my confidence along the way. I am believing in myself every single step of the way. So that's why having little small micro goals or challenges to push yourself and then being able to celebrate that win and to be able to see, I can do it. I can do this. That is going to increase that confidence, your belief. So to just close with this, and again, I want to highly encourage you to go back and watch part 1 and part 2, where we talk about the 3 sides of excellence, which is mastering your craft, your work ethic, networking, and the last one we covered today is through all of it, have a strong and develop a strong belief in yourself. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please hit subscribe, please like, and if you really enjoyed this, feel free to share it with somebody. That's the greatest compliment that you can give me, is to share this with someone else. Appreciate you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.